Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan might have officially made her the strongest Uchiha, or one of the strongest female ninja in the history of Konoha, especially with the showcase of her Mangekyo Sharingan abilities and how they made her powerful enough to defeat Ryu in the latest chapter of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. The chapter is titled Mangekyo Sharingan, and it features Sarada Uchiha on the cover. It first begins with a flashback of Sarada thinking about Boruto making a promise to her, that he will support her in her dreams of becoming the Hokage. He will act as Sarada's protector and make sure that her dream of becoming the Hokage ends up as a reality. She also remembers previous conversations that she had with characters like Chocho, that told her that becoming the Hokage is an unattainable dream and she should focus on finding a boyfriend instead. That's when she also remembered her conversations with Sumire, where she was asking Sarada how she would feel about other girls liking Boruto or even giving him attention. Sarada wasn't that interested in anything that involved her feelings because she was more interested in becoming the kind of shinobi that's worthy of being the Hokage. To the point where she thought she had to become a shinobi that can do everything by herself and protect the village on her own, basically chasing after perfection because she thought that's what it takes to become the Hokage, especially because she looked up to Naruto. Sarada assumed that shutting down her emotions and lying to herself in the pursuit of becoming the perfect shinobi was the quickest way to achieving her dream of becoming Hokage. Until she ended up in this situation where she was the last shinobi standing and she needed a great source of power in order to defeat a powerful enemy and also save her friends. Sarada came to the realization that the only way to tap into her hidden power was to embrace her emotions and accept her weaknesses. She had to admit to herself that she was lacking in strength and she was also trying to deny emotions that she felt towards Boruto, and that was holding her back. As soon as she came to terms with her emotions and accepted her reality, as well as how that reality influences her emotions, she finally reawakened her Mangekyo Sharingan and started using its newfound powers against the Shinju. Sarada's new Mangekyo Sharingan power is called Ohirume, and it is the power to control space and gravity. The power is linked to the sun goddess Amaterasu. Ohirume can be translated to the Great Sun Woman or the Great Sun Deity, which has symbolism and themes that fit Sarada's character, such as light, wisdom, protection, and divine leadership. Things that are essential to Sarada's character on her journey to becoming the Hokage and also her development. One of the biggest symbolisms we can see with Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan and how it influences the development of her character is the way the power of Ohirume is compensating for what Sarada was lacking the most. She used to feel helpless, not being able to do anything against any of the calamities, and thus averted her gaze. Her Mangekyo Sharingan gave her the power to control her entire surroundings with the control of gravitational forces and also a way to destroy whatever is making her feel helpless or powerless. It literally gives her what she needed narratively, but in the form of physical power. The power to control everything that is happening around her, and use her strength to do something about those calamities that made her feel powerless and insecure in the first place. Because of Ohirume's power, Sarada is not going to look away anymore. Her Mangekyo Sharingan also being in the pattern of a sun is how her dojutsu is linked to Ohirume, or the sun goddess Amaterasu. With her control of space, she can open up black holes and use them similar to how Obito was using the Kamui technique, while her control of gravity can be used for levitation, similar to the way that Pain was using the Diva Path of the Rinnegan to levitate, as well as manipulate gravity to pull in objects or people, as well as repel them. So Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan might have a combination of black holes and the Rinnegan's gravity manipulation powers. She used this power to nullify Ryu's Iron Sand by pulling it into the black holes that she was spamming, which is what turned the tide of battle in Sarada's favor. The more she kept using her powers, the more she figured out what her Mangekyo Sharingan was capable of. Sasuke even explained this to Boruto that Sarada would eventually reawaken her Mangekyo Sharingan and she would instinctively know how to use her powers. This was shortly after Sasuke rescued Boruto from Konoha and left the village with him. This also backs up what we've been saying all along, which is that Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan is the reason that Sasuke decided to train Boruto. This chapter also confirms something else we've been saying, which is that the Mangekyo Sharingan is awakened when an Uchiha experiences intense emotional trauma. It is not awakened by taking the life of someone that is dear to them, or seeing the death of someone that they care about. The intense emotional trauma that was caused by Boruto's situation is how she awakened her Mangekyo Sharingan, and coming to terms with her emotions is how she's tapping deeper into that power. And we can see that with the way that Sarada was taking the advantage in the battle and she was starting to overpower Ryu. She didn't have the doubts and hesitation that she used to have before. After listening to what Yodo had to say about embracing her feelings and letting them make her stronger instead of suppressing them, Sarada had now become a formidable force and the strongest female shinobi in history with her Mangekyo Sharingan. Ryu noticed that his Iron Sand was starting to become ineffective against Sarada. The more he tried to attack her, the more she kept on pulling the iron sand into the black holes that she was spamming. That's when she started floating into the air and also making Ryu levitate. At that moment, it was more than clear to him that his fate was sealed. He tried to make a run for it, but Sarada manipulated the gravity around him and started pulling him into the black holes that she created with a Mangekyo. That's when she compressed him into the black hole, making it smaller and smaller until it eventually crushed him and he blew up into tiny smithereens. The only thing left of him was his Stone Soul bulb. This is by far the strongest Mangekyo Sharingan in the history of the Uchiha. Control over space by creating black holes, similar to how Obito can pull things into his Kamui, and control over gravity, manipulating it similar to Pain's Diva Path of the Rinnegan. Her Mangekyo Sharingan also being in a straight pattern Choku Tomoe, officially makes Sarada one of the strongest Uchiha in history and also the strongest female character in Naruto, even far more stronger than Lady Tsunade and Sakura Haruno. She currently possesses abilities to control space and gravity, powerful lightning techniques that she inherited from Sasuke, like the variations of the Chidori, and also the fire style Jutsu. She also possesses the strength of Sakura and Lady Tsunade. Not to mention that her Mangekyo Sharingan also gives her access to the Susanoo, which also has its own set of special abilities. The only thing that Sarada Uchiha doesn't possess is the Byakugo seal. Even with that said, her current arsenal of jutsu and abilities, as well as the tenacity that she inherited from Sasuke and Sakura, and the will of fire she inherited from Naruto because he inspired her to become the Hokage, is only going to make her determined to become stronger and develop as a shinobi. So let me know what y'all think about Sarada Uchiha's Mangekyo Sharingan power of Ohirume. Subscribe to the channel for more Boruto content, and check out this video that explains why the Boruto manga's latest arc has been centered around emotions.